It was supposed to be the happiest day of Jessica Monroe's life. She stood in front of the mirror, a soft glow bathing her face as her mother, Diane, adjusted the veil on her head. The silken lace gown hugged her frame perfectly, and her smile seemed radiant. But deep inside, something wasn't right. The pit in her stomach had nothing to do with nerves. It was something else, something gnawing at her since last night. Jessica was set to marry Ryan Callahan, the man she had dated for 3 years, loved fiercely, and trusted with her whole heart. Everyone said they were perfect together. He was charming, successful, adored by her family, and always knew how to make her laugh. But in the final hours before the wedding, secrets that had long been buried began to surface. The first clue had come from her best friend, Emily, who had flown in from Chicago and stayed with Jessica the night before the wedding. Emily had hesitated, pacing the floor of the guest room with her phone in hand. Jessica had pressed her, and Emily finally gave in. "I didn't want to say anything," she whispered, "but I got this message. An anonymous DM on Instagram. It said Ryan's been hiding something big." Jessica's heart stopped. What kind of something? Emily looked her in the eyes. "They said he's still seeing his ex Rachel." Jessica almost laughed. "Rachel? They broke up years ago." Emily nodded. "I know. I didn't believe it either. But there were pictures. Screenshots. I checked the phone number on the texts. It's his." Jessica took the phone and stared at the messages. The tone was intimate. Familiar. The words were suggestive, nostalgic. She felt her breath catch. These weren't old texts. They were from last month. A meet-up. A hotel room. A lie. She spent the night tossing and turning, the beautiful rehearsal dinner still fresh in her memory. Ryan had held her hand, kissed her cheek, toasted to their future. And now, with her dress buttoned and her makeup set, she felt like her whole life was crumbling underneath layers of foundation and fabric. Her father, Thomas, knocked on the door, smiling brightly. "Ready, princess?" Jessica swallowed hard. "Can we talk for a second?" He entered, sensing something wasn't right. She handed him Emily's phone. He scrolled through the texts, the smile slowly fading from his face. He didn't say anything at first, then met her eyes. "You don't have to do this, Jess. But what if it's not true? What if there's some explanation? Then Ryan needs to tell you himself. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now." Jessica nodded. They delayed the ceremony under the pretense of a wardrobe malfunction. The guests sat and chatted, oblivious to the storm that was brewing behind the scenes. Jessica found Ryan outside the church, pacing, his tie slightly loosened. She walked up slowly, her heels clicking on the pavement. He turned, surprised. "Hey, everything okay? They said something about your dress. We need to talk." He paused. "Sure." She showed him the phone. Watched his eyes flick over the screen. He didn't deny it. He just closed his eyes and said, "It's not what it looks like." "Then tell me what it is." I messed up," he admitted. "I saw her once. I shouldn't have. I don't love her. I swear I don't. But it happened, and I didn't know how to tell you without losing you." "You already did lose me," she whispered. He reached for her hand, but she stepped back. "I can't marry someone who lies to me." Ryan's face fell. "Jessica, please." "No," she said. "Not like this. I need time." The news traveled quickly. The wedding was postponed. The guests were quietly ushered out with polite apologies and confused glances. Jessica removed her dress in silence, tears trailing down her cheeks. In the following days, she stayed with Emily, turning off her phone and staying out of sight. Her parents supported her decision, though they ached for her pain. Ryan tried to contact her, texts, voicemails, even showing up at her parents' house. But Jessica needed space. She needed to understand what she really wanted, who she was without him. Weeks turned into a month. Jessica focused on herself, diving back into her work as an interior designer, spending more time with friends and rediscovering joy in little things, sunset walks, good books, nights out filled with laughter that didn't feel forced. Then, one day, she received a handwritten letter in the mail. From Ryan. It wasn't a plea. It was an apology. He wrote about how he grew up never seeing a healthy relationship, how he thought love was always messy and full of secrets. How he had ruined the best thing that ever happened to him out of fear. He didn't ask for forgiveness. He just wanted her to know that he was going to change, whether she was in his life or not. Jessica cried as she read it. Not because she missed him, but because it was the first honest thing he had ever given her. They met again, in a quiet cafe on a rainy afternoon. It wasn't romantic. It was raw. "I don't hate you," she told him. "But I can't go back to who I was when I was with you." Ryan nodded. "I get it. And I'll always regret it." They parted with a hug, bittersweet, but healing. A year later, Jessica stood in a different chapel, wearing a different dress. This time, the man waiting at the altar was Ethan, someone she had met through a mutual friend months after the cancelled wedding. Ethan was kind, genuine, and steady. He had seen her at her lowest, held her when she was afraid to trust again, and never once made her feel like she had to be someone else. As she walked down the aisle toward him, her heart was calm. There were no secrets between them. No lies. Just love, built slowly and carefully, like a house made to last. The wedding that almost didn't happen had led to the one that was always meant to be. And this time, she didn't doubt it for a second.